Dethra Giles, founder and chief bridge architect at Executive, where we help our clients build and cross their bridge between I want to be and I am. And so today I come to you because many of you have reached out to me and asked me about three things. One, you have asked me about my story. Dethra, what is your story about the things that you're talking about? Number two, you have said, we see you every Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. on Periscope, and we want a little bit more. The Periscope sessions are only about 10 to 15 minutes, and we want something a little bit more detailed about what you're teaching us and actually what you do. And thirdly, you've asked me about the Better Business Blueprint and how I've applied the Better Business Blueprint to my own life. And so I decided, why not? Why not do something to comply with what you've asked me to do? So one thing to start off is when I was thinking about doing this video, I went through my closet and I pulled out all these business suits. I was going through and finding out which one I thought would be the best. And when I finally narrowed it down, I realized this session isn't really a business suit session. It's a session for you and me. And so it was a casual session. So I put on my casual clothes because you know how I am. I love you with my whole heart area and we're friends. So I really want to talk about my story. How did I end up here and how did I use what I'm teaching you? Because the one thing I always tell you, when you're looking for someone to help you, when you're looking for someone to coach you, when you're looking for someone to help you build your bridge between I want to be and I am, you're looking for someone who has done this stuff. And I always tell you, I am the mad scientist. I've tried all the experiments on myself first. And so I'm not teaching you and asking you to do anything I haven't done for myself. So what is my story? And how do I apply this stuff? First of all, let's talk about it. The Better Business Blueprint is 3 days with 3 ways to prepare, propel, and protect your time, your talent, and your money. And so what does that sound like? What does that mean? What is that? What does it look like to prepare, propel, and protect your time, your talent, and your money? Well, I'll tell you how I did it for myself. How did that look like in my life? Because just like you, I had my own want to be. But unfortunately for me, I didn't have someone that told me they could teach me how to build and cross that bridge from my want to be to I am. And so I had to do it myself. So what did it look like for me to do that? So let me tell you my story. My story is, first of all, I grew up in an environment where the only key to success, what was successful, was either being a doctor or a lawyer. No one told me that I could have talents, that I could be great, that I could be successful outside of those two things. And so I went to college thinking I was going to be a neurosurgeon and a mechanic because I felt like if I could learn to fix brains, I surely could learn to fix my own car. But as I progressed through my college years, I realized that wasn't what I wanted to do. That wasn't the best way to use my talent. And so I ended up in the field of human resources. I started out in a nonprofit and I went through corporate Americas, companies like State Farm, like Allen Automotive, and ended up being a director of HR at the second largest public institution in the state of Georgia, where by the age of 27, I was a director, teaching, managing, had my own staff of people who were responsible for almost 10,000 employees. Sounds wonderful, but it wasn't my dream. My dream included my own thing, but how was I going to work full time, sometimes 60 hours a week, and still build my own company, which I have today, Executive? So I had to learn to prepare, propel, and protect my own talent, my own time, and my own money. What did that look like for me? First of all, like you, I had to identify what my talent actually was. I was working with a client recently, and she was struggling to figure out what should she do with her life. And the first thing I asked her was, what were you put on this earth to do? What were you uniquely gifted to do that no one else can do as well as you? And like many of you, she had to pause. She paused not because she couldn't articulate it. She paused because the answer was, I don't know. Many of you find yourself in that same situation. You don't even know. But you're not alone. You're not by yourself. This is something I help people figure out, mainly because I had to figure it out for myself. Because remember, I told you my story was, in my paradigm, I had to be a doctor or a lawyer. And none of those fit who I was. None of those fit the things that I was good at. So my story is I had to figure out what my talent was, number one, and its place in the world, number two. That's my own unique story. I found out I was good at helping people build bridges. I was good at helping people discover what their talent was and how to best use it. Talk about the second thing, time. I was working with a client recently, and we figured out that she did not manage her time well. What did that look like in her business? She, in her business, needed to make about $300 an hour on the tasks that she should be doing in order to drive revenue for her company. $300 an hour. But she found herself doing $12 an hour tasks. What did that mean? As I discussed with her, that meant she was stealing from her company. You have to prepare, propel, and protect your time, because time is a finite resource. You only have a certain amount of time. And if you misuse it, you lose it. You can't create time. And so if you're going to be successful, you have to learn to manage your time effectively. Where do most of us lose our time? We lose our times on things we should not be doing. We lose our time on distractions, things that get us away from our ultimate goal. We lose our time on things that are actually less important than the thing we should be doing. What do I mean by that? Robert Balt says the thing that gets between us and accomplishing the goal are the lesser goals. The lesser goals are things that are easier. Like when you woke up this morning, there was something really difficult you probably should have done, but there was something easier that you like doing better. When you got to work, you checked your email, and there was one email that you just did not feel like dealing with because it required more of your time. And there were about 15 other emails that were a lot easier, and you did those 15. Well, I challenge you that those 15 probably weren't the best use of your time, and that one that you wanted to skip, that was the one you should have done. You have to prepare, you have to propel, and you have to protect your time. If you're going to reach your ultimate goal, if you're going to build and cross your bridge from I want to be to I am. And lastly, let's talk about the money piece. We all get a little sketchy when we talk about money because money is one of those things where we all kind of guard ourselves. Well, let me tell you my story. My story, in a moment of transparency, was that I did not always know how to manage my money well. I did not always prepare, propel, or protect my money. What did that look like? I've always been responsible. So I always paid my bills, paid them on time, and all that stuff. And I put a little bit away. And when I say little, I emphasize little. A little bit away in savings. And the rest just went to whatever. Trips, food, clothes, shoes, mainly shoes. But I did not manage my money well. And how did that impact my life? I found myself making money decisions and not life decisions. What do I mean by that? I had an opportunity once where I had 2 job offers. One job offer would have allowed me to build my company a lot sooner. I would have been able to start Executive Prep a lot sooner because it allowed me a lot more free time. The other opportunity paid significantly more, but it would have offered me a lot less time to build my company. Which one do you think I chose? You're right. I chose the one that made more money. Why? Because I had not prepared, propelled, and protected my money. And so instead of making life decisions, i.e. the decisions that were best for me, my family, my future, and achieving my goals, I made money decisions. The ones that could pay the bills, the ones that could get me where I want to be financially, and the ones that actually stood in the way of my ultimate goal. I don't want the same for you. I want you to be able to make life decisions. I want you to be able to begin right now to build and cross your bridge between I want to be and I am. I've told this story before, a story of me running. And I'm a runner. I typically like to run by myself because I know what pace I want to go. I know how fast I want to go. But one morning I found myself running with 2 other women. And as we were running, we got halfway through our running. I realized they didn't seem to care. I realized we were off target. We weren't reaching our goal the way we wanted to, and I immediately became frustrated. One of the women looked at me and she said, "What's wrong?" And I said, "We're not making good time." And she looked at her watch and she looked at the mile marker and said, "Don't worry, we're only halfway through. We can make up time." And immediately we began to pick up the pace, and we finished our race. We finished our run actually in ample time, with time to spare, a lot sooner than I anticipated. What am I saying by that? What I'm saying is you cannot create time, but you can make up time. If you realize right now you are not where you need to be, if you realize right now that the bridge between I want to be and I am hasn't even begun to be built, if you realize right now that you have no architectural plans to get from where you want to be, to get from where you are to where you want to be, it's not too late. You can make up the time, but you have to start now. Do not continue to waste your time and go nowhere, because the time is going to pass whether you do something or not. So do something. What I find is that many people are waiting for someone else to invest in them. Here's the thing. It is not your company's job to advance your career. It is not a program's job to build your business. It is not some outside person's job to create your entrepreneurial opportunity. That job belongs to you. The good news is there are ways to help. You have to begin to invest. The thing that you want to prepare, propel, and protect are the same things that you have to invest. You have to invest your talent, you have to invest your time, and you have to invest your money. Nothing is going to come to you for free. So how do you begin to do that? One of the ways you can do it is by joining our Better Business Blueprint webinar series. It's 3 days with 3 ways to prepare, propel, and protect your time, your talent, and your money. Join us just for 1 hour for 3 days, and we'll go through those things step by step. I'll give you tools, tips, and techniques to begin to apply immediately. These are things that you will be able to do as soon as you get off the webinar that will allow you to advance to where you want to be. You no longer have to stay in that spot, but it requires something of you. It requires that you begin to invest in yourself. And 1 hour is a small investment for achieving your dreams. You know that thing you thought of when you were a child? You know the thing you've always thought you wanted to do? You know that office that you want to escape from because it's just not where you feel like you need to be anymore? It's time. It's time for you to make the investment so that you can move. A year from now, do you want to be exactly where you are now? The answer is likely no. If that's the case, invest in yourself. Join me on the Better Business Blueprint webinar, where myself and actually Natalie Reed, who's a CPA, will talk about money, and I will teach you about finding your talent and managing your time, and we'll put it all together so that you can begin to have your Better Business Blueprint. So why is it called Better Business Blueprint? Here's the deal. My company did not start with ExecuPrep, because actually ExecuPrep was not my first company. Dethra Giles Career was my first company. If you are not managing your career like it's a business, then you are failing yourself. You have to understand that you are in the business of you. No one else, nothing else. So you want a company, but if you're in a career right now, start managing your career like it's your company, so that you'll know how to manage your company when you get there. But we'll help you bring it all together. Join us on the Better Business Blueprint. It starts February 27th and goes through March the 2nd. I hope to see you there. And also, if you want to work with me further one-on-one, I've had some of you call and say, you know what, Dethra? I don't want to do the Better Business Blueprint. I want to work with you one-on-one. I welcome it. I would love to work with you one-on-one. I would love to personally sit down and talk with you, Skype with you, Google chat with you on how to begin to build your bridge. You can contact me at info@execuprep.com. That's info@execuprep.com. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the Better Business Blueprint series. You all know how this ends. I love you with my whole heart area. So go out, be great, be phenomenal, unapologetically, and on purpose. Take care. Bye-bye.